India is a power surplus country. In fact, India is the third largest producer of electricity in the world. Yet many villages in India face long hours of power cut. That is because around 22% of the power generated is lost during transmission and distribution. The global average of power lost in transmission is around 8%. The transmission loss is as high as 40 to 50% in some states in India. Be that as it may, most Indians pay their electricity bills on time. Yet state governments owe lakhs of rupees to power discoms which are languishing in debt. According to a report, Indian states and union territories owe over rupees 1 trillion to power generation companies or GenCos and rupees 1.3 trillion to power distribution companies or discoms. And the discoms in states like Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu are in deep debt, owing several thousand crores to power generation companies. So what has put India in this peculiar situation? In the 1960s, the government of India gave subsidized power to industries to accelerate industrialization and thereby economic growth. But a few political parties saw that this wasn't giving them any political dividend, and so these political parties made electricity into a political product. Industries had to pay more for power, while free power for farmers and free electricity up to 300 units became a part of poll promises of a few parties.
जो लोग दिल्ली के अंदर 200 यूनिट तक खपत करते हैं, उनको अपने बिजली के बिल देने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। पंजाब में आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार हर परिवार को 300 यूनिट तक बिजली मुफ्त देगी। जितने पुराने बिल हैं, डोमेस्टिक के जितने पुराने बिल हैं, सारे माफ किए जाएंगे।
मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ, फ्री बिजली चाहिए नहीं चाहिए? क्यों नहीं चाहिए भाई? फ्री बिजली अगर मिल सकती है तो मिलनी चाहिए, क्यों नहीं चाहिए?
समाजवादी सरकार बनने पर 300 यूनिट बिजली घरेलू फ्री होगी।
हिमाचल में हमारी सरकार बनती है तो 300 यूनिट तक की बिजली मुफ्त दिया जाएगा।
A state government is entitled and is within its rights to offer subsidies and free power to any category of consumers. However, it is important that the state governments stick to fiscal discipline. While on one hand, the state governments promise free electricity to consumers, they often do not pay the discoms, and these discoms fail to pay the GenCos. Various solutions have been proposed by the central government over the years to fix the lacunae ailing the power sector. Between 2001 to 2021, three types of policies focusing on strengthening power networks by resolving technical issues, increasing energy access, and financing discoms were introduced. Loans, reliefs, absorption of liabilities by the center have proved to be stopgap measures to control the symptoms and not the illness. That's why the Government of India has now brought the Electricity Amendment Bill 2022. Once the bill becomes an act, the license raj ailing the power sector will come to an end. At present, only central and state governments have the authority to give licenses to distribute power to companies. The new act, once enforced, will enable any qualified private player to get a license to distribute power with automatic approval if authorities fail to give the permission in the stipulated time. With this, state discoms will be forced to offer better services as they now have to compete in the open market. The act will also make state governments be more fiscally responsible. At present, state governments, despite defaulting on payments running to lakhs of crores to discoms and GenCos, continue to get power from the central power grid. After the amendment, load dispatch centers, which manage India's power grid, will have the authority to stop power supply to state governments unless they get payment guarantees. This will prevent political parties from using electricity as a political product to get votes. The amendment also places obligations on the discoms to purchase power from renewable sources, which will help India fulfill its climate change commitments. Last but not the least, the amendment will empower consumers to purchase from whomever they like. This amendment will be the 1991 moment for India's power sector. Just like how privatization of airline sector enabled low-cost airlines, just like how privatization of telecom sector resulted in mobile phone penetration and cheap data, The privatization of power sector will lead to increased competition and efficiency, thus benefiting the common Indian.